And let me tell you a secret. The only way that you can be and become the best version of yourself is by falling in love with yourself and become obsessed about your life. But how do you do this? Well, in this video I'm gonna share with you tips that helped me and will for sure help you to become the best version of yourself. And if you stick around till the end, I'll share an kind of a exercise, which is going to kickstart your journey to becoming the best version of yourself already today. I have about 19 tips to share with you, and here comes the first one. So, take care of yourself physically and mentally. When it comes to the mental part, start a journaling routine, clear out your head. Podcasts, books, and YouTube videos are also a big help. Find a way that works for you to take care of your mental health. Because it's important, everything starts from here. And if you cannot do it yourself, then find a specialist who can help you with it, because it's super important and there is nothing wrong with it. And when it comes to the physical part, fall in love with exercise, start drinking enough water, start eating healthy, and don't cheat on that. Don't underestimate the importance of these things, because it all starts from the basics. If you want to be the best version of yourself and the best performing and the most effective person you know, then it all starts from the basics. It starts from taking care of your mental health, taking care of your physical health, eating healthy, drinking enough water, exercising regularly. And exercising regularly doesn't mean that you have to be every day running a marathon. No, it means that you need to find a thing that you like, a thing that makes you sweat, and that you actually like to do 3 times a week, and that's more than enough. And when it comes to eating healthy, no, it's not about being on a restrictive diet and not eating anything and counting the calories of carrots. No, it's about healthy, balanced diet where you get your protein, your carbs, your fats, vegetables, fiber, all those things that make your gut and your mind feel good. And this is not about becoming so dry that your abs show up. This is about a normal, healthy balance, and if your abs start to show up, well, that's just a nice bonus, right? And the next tip I have for you is to become busy. Become a busy person. Find purpose in life. Go after your dreams and focus on them. Why do you need to do this? Well, because when you start focusing on yourself, on your dreams and goals and your purpose, you become more interesting person. Not only to yourself, but also to others. And you almost like level up automatically. I don't know how to call this. It's just something just happens when you start focusing on your dreams and goals and living your purpose. Because suddenly you're not anymore interested in all the stupid things like drama or all the other pointless things that make no sense in human life. You lose such things as jealousy. Jealousy will become for you like a completely weird thing, because you don't have to feel jealous anymore, because you started to focus on yourself, so you don't have to be focusing on what others are doing. So become busy. And no, I don't mean that you need to fill in your calendar and be all the time doing things and never resting. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Use your common sense. Moving on. Stop searching for external validation and validate yourself. Do you find yourself asking these questions, not from yourself, but from the others? Should I do this? Can I wear this? Does this look good? Should I study this? Should I do this? La di la di la. Let me ask you this question. How are other people supposed to know what is good for you? What if what you actually truly want is not aligned with the answer of the other person? For example, very simple example. Let's say you want to wear a leather blazer, but the other person says that the leather blazer doesn't look good on you and that it's too extravagant or something. But you really want to wear that leather blazer. Are you going to listen to the other person? If you are searching for external validation, you're probably going to, because the external source did not validate your outfit decision today. If you validate yourself, then you're not going to. Probably you're gonna look yourself in the mirror and be like, No, I want to wear this leather blazer, and it's fine because I decide what do I wear, and I also decide what I do with my life. So, will you do what the other person said you to do? In the cases where you're searching for external validation, you probably will. But when you validate yourself, you won't. You can ask for advice, but it's up to you to decide what will you do with the advice. Advice is never a bad. Sometimes it can be a bad thing, but usually taking in advice is a good thing. That's very big skill to have if you're able to listen to the advice of others. But it is up to you to decide what will you do with that advice. Moving on to the fourth tip, which is stop searching for dopamine boosts constantly. And mainly I'm talking about social media here, but also just easy fixes and easy life choices. Because things are not always easy, and they shouldn't be. For example, if you find yourself all the time going from Instagram to Pinterest, from Pinterest to Facebook, from Facebook to TikTok, and so on, and then you also spend a lot of time on those apps scrolling. Why do you do this? Is because your brain is searching for a dopamine boost. You weren't fulfilled on the other app for some reason, and then you switch the app to maybe find there that boost, and then you go to another app because you didn't get it from that previous app. But that is so time consuming. Like, you're wasting your life to scroll on social media. This is another topic, which I'm not gonna go into in this video, because otherwise I don't know how long this video will already be, but if I go too deep to this topic, it's gonna be way too long. Small tip, what I do when I find myself wasting a little bit too much time on social media is I delete the apps for a while, for like few days, so I get used to the habit of not using them again and using them only like max 10 minutes a day. And the other thing that comes to the quick dopamine boost is doing things that are easy, so you get the satisfaction of doing something quicker and not forcing yourself actually to struggle a little bit, to do a little bit harder things and then have that satisfaction. So choosing all the time to go there where the fence is the lowest, that's no good. You should do things that are a little bit hard and complicated to become the better version of yourself. Not do easy things, but do the hard things so you can actually level up. If you do things that are easy, you're doing the same things that you already can do, but if you do things that are harder and more complicated, you're actually challenging yourself, you're maybe learning something new, and you're leveling up. The next part, the next tip, is my favorite, which is self-analysis. Analyze yourself. I'm constantly analyzing myself, and that's why this is the favorite part of mine. What I mean with this is take a look at your values. What do you like? Your interests? What do you dream of? What are your goals? What are your strengths and weaknesses? And this is not a quick thing to do because kind of you learn something new about yourself every day. You might think that you like one thing, but once you try it, you actually don't. So this changes also all the time. Your values also change when you grow older. When you go to a completely new situation, you might find out that you have a strength that you never knew about, or you have a weakness that you never knew about. Also analyze what were your thoughts, your feelings, your reactions. Listen to them all the time. Or not like all the time, but often. How did that certain situation made you feel? What did you thought about it? How did that made you react? Should you have reacted in some different way? This is very beneficial because once you know your values, you know what kind of lifestyle you want and what you want to do with your life. Once you know your interests, you know what you should do and what you like to do. And once you know your strengths and weaknesses, you know where will you be successful and where will you not be so successful, and what you might need to work on a little bit. When you know how are you feeling in a certain situation, you know what to do about it. When you also analyze your reactions, you know, well, maybe I overreacted in some situation, or you learn to control yourself also. And there's so many benefits in self-analysis, and the thing about it is that it should never end because you are a living organism and you change all the time. And that's why you need to spend some time analyzing yourself as well, so that you know what is good for you and what is not good for you. And when you do self-analysis, you also become very self-aware and very worked through person, if that's the correct way to say it in English, I don't know. Just very well put together, that's the word, put together person. Tip number 6 is to keep educating yourself and learning new things. And I'm not talking about that it needs to be a university necessarily. What I'm talking about is that learn new things and try to become better. So whatever it is what you're doing, dedicate some time to it every day, even if it's 10 minutes. Small steps will take you much further than occasional big steps. So if you're every day studying or learning something new for 10 minutes every day, you come much further than if you're dedicating time to it once a month for 1 hour. This allows you to level up your skills and become better at whatever it is that you're doing. Tip number 7 is realize that Instagram is not real life. Many things are not real. Many things are distracting you, and many things are lying to you like a manipulative, toxic ex of yours. Okay, I'm sorry, it was a joke. But be very selective of who you actually follow on social media, same as you're selective of who you are friends with. Why I wanted to incorporate this in this video is because this is very crucial for your mental health. But also, if you consume social media a little bit too much, there might be a danger that it's distracting you from yourself. So you're losing connection with yourself and what you actually like and what your interests are and what are your actual skills and talents, and therefore limiting you from reaching your true potential, aka the best version of yourself. Tip number 8. Develop critical thinking. The world is not black and white, and neither are things or relationship between people or anything else. Nothing that is real is black and white. Critical thinking will allow you to have your own point of views and will allow you to think with your own brain, which everyone has, but clearly not everyone can use it. I'm saying this with love, not to hurt anyone, but it's very important to be able to think by yourself critically and not take in every information you get from the outside that is fed to you. Critical thinking helps you to better understand yourself, your motivations and goals, and also you're able to search up information, not take everything in, but select parts that make sense to you and apply that to your life or wherever you need that information for. And when you're able to think critically, you're also able to change your situations, you're able to have personal growth and just be happy. It also helps you to understand the point of view of others, and it will help you to become more open-minded towards other people and their opinions. Critical thinking will benefit you in so many ways, in life, in finances, in business, in career, in whatever you're doing in your life, in friendships, in relationships, when you're studying, whatever. It helps you with everything and in every part and aspect of your life. So be critical. Tip number 9, which is cut out things, people and circumstances that distract your chakras, aka it distracts you from your vibes. Whatever it is for you, cut it out. Cut out news. Say bye-bye to toxic friends or toxic workplaces. Don't get involved in pointless drama or drama in general. Don't drink alcohol so much because that lowers your vibe so much. Just cut out anything and everything that lowers your vibe, makes you feel bad, distracts your peace, doesn't feel right, and doesn't respect or appreciate you. Don't let anything or anyone to kill your vibe. And tip number 10, which I already talked about a little bit in the previous tip, about alcohol, cut it out. Cut out alcohol. The importance of not having alcohol in your life is very important for so many reasons. But for example, when you drink alcohol, it doesn't only distract your brain cells and is very bad for your body. But if we talk about just the side effects that you can actually feel next morning, which is the anxiety, depression, feeling miserable, not feeling right, hangover, I'm talking about. The effects of that is not only that one day that you're having a hangover. Of course, it a little bit depends on your age as well. But if you're like in your mid-20s, alcohol makes you feel bad and slows you down for at least 2 days after drinking. So you're not feeling 100% 2 days after drinking still. In my opinion, that's quite a lot. It takes away quite a lot from you and it gives quite a little. I understand that sometimes it's nice to have drinks with friends, just spend an evening. I'm realistic about it, of course, but what do I advise is that be very selective of when you're deciding to drink. Fun. You can have a lot of fun also without drinking alcohol. And if your friends don't understand that, then the door. And if you decide to drink, pick your timing right. Moving on to tip number 11, which is stop searching for happiness in things. Happiness that is not coming from within can be used against you to control you. This goes mainly to the materialistic babes, which I am myself as well, but I'm conscious about it, which allows me to control it instead of it controlling me. And I'm aware that materialism alone doesn't make me happy. And what I mean with this sentence, happiness that doesn't come from within, can be used against you to control you. A very simple example. Let's say you're working a whole month and you finally get your salary on your bank account. If your happiness is in things, you're going to go shopping and waste your salary that you put all your effort into, all your time in order to make that money, and you now go and you buy things with that to be happy. That is control, because you go and you spend all that money that you earned last month, and now the next month you need to go to work again to earn that money again and buy new things again to be happy. You're not free. You're chained to earn money, to buy things, to be happy. And this is a continuous cycle which you cannot break out from, because you're also not saving any money, which would allow you to break away from the rat race, for example. And that's exactly how you get trapped into the rat race, because you're spending all your money to buy happiness, and you're getting deeper and deeper into it because you're also not being able to save any money because you're spending it all to buy happiness. And eventually, when you're old and tired, you realize that you should have actually saved your money instead of spend it all on things that made you happy only for a while. Which brings me to my next tip: learn about finances, learn about money, learn about making it, learn about saving it, learn about investing it, and implement all that you learn about it to your life as well. We have so little financial education in school, but the thing is that financial education and knowledge about finances is the key to freedom and more relaxed life. Tip number 12, learn self-control and emotional intelligence. If you want to be a better version of you and you want to be the best version of you, you need to keep your emotions in check, and you also need to learn emotional intelligence. Self-control makes your life so much easier because it allows you to manage your emotions, control your emotions, and work well with other people as well. And other people will also perceive you very differently and respect you when you are in control of yourself and when you're also emotionally intelligent. It's nice for people to be around you, but it's not only for people to be nice around you, it's for you also nice to be around other people, because you know whether you like a person or you don't, and you can respectfully handle situations that are not the most nice ones. In my opinion, it's very important to be able to be in control of yourself and also be emotionally intelligent in order to be the best version of yourself. Tip number 13 is to be open to new things. This helps you to develop your open-mindedness and become more open-minded, which is very, very crucial in becoming better and eventually the best version of yourself, because when you're open-minded, you're more likely also to be positive. When you're close-minded, you're more likely to become negative. When you're positive, you see more opportunities. When you're negative, you don't really see opportunities. If you're open to new things, you're also more likely to try new things and become a vibrant person and learn new things about yourself as well, which also helps you to grow. Tip number 14, learn fuck it and fuck you attitude. Woohoo! Not everyone has to like you, and that's okay. Not everything you do has to resonate with others, and that's also okay. As long as you're happy and as long as it doesn't hurt physically anyone else. If you want to grow into the best version of yourself, many things you're going to start doing are going to evoke emotions and response in others, because you're growing, you're changing, you're becoming someone else from the person that the people around you have used to see. And that transition usually never goes without some resistance. So just accept that and be fine with it. Don't care, because it's your life that's on stake. So why would you care if some person is going to have an opinion about it? It doesn't matter. It won't matter in 5 years, for sure. Because if you become super successful, they will be like, wow, they will be cheering for you at that point. And if it fails completely, in 5 years no one's gonna remember it. So it doesn't matter. Tip number 15 is to start gratitude journaling. It's also super important because it teaches you to appreciate small and the big things that you've already achieved. Because we live in a world where we're like so quickly achieving. We have to do this and we have to do that. You achieve this and you're already wanting the next thing. So you never really stop to give ourselves credit for what we already have achieved. And we just achieve this, then we go to the next thing, and then we go to the next thing, and then we go to the next thing. So we're like achieving all the time and never stopping to give ourselves some credit.
Bravo on that, by the way.
And I think this causes a lot of unsatisfaction in society because people have so much, but they don't understand what they have because they don't appreciate it. So gratitude journaling helps you to give yourself credit for the big and the small things that you already have in your life and that you've already achieved. And it also helps you to develop positive mindset, because how can you not be positive after journaling every day 10 things you're grateful about for 1 month? How can you not be positive after such thing? So there's many benefits. Tip number 16 is to fall in love with failure, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, do things that scare you, and challenge yourself on a regular basis. This allows you to actually grow, because it's so easy to get comfortable in the situation you are in already. You might think, oh, it's totally okay, the life I'm living now. It does satisfy me partly, like it's not so bad, and I don't really need those things. You know, I'm just very good in this what I live in now. But this is because our brain is very lazy and our brain doesn't want to do challenging things because it puts the brain to work. So you need to force yourself to do these things. You need to force yourself to be uncomfortable, do new things, do challenging things, and be okay with the fear of failure. Because that's the zone which allows you to grow and become a better version of you. And there's also a saying, if some thought is causing in you a lot of fear, that's what you should do. That's the universe, or whatever you want to call it, guiding you that that's the path you need to take. But many won't take that path because it's so scary. And the tip number 17 that's going to help you to become a better version of yourself is to visualize your future self. And make sure that everything that you do now is aligned with the future you and the future you see yourself living in. If the things that you do now don't support your future vision of you and your life, stop doing them and start doing things that actually support your vision. Because only that way you can reach your future vision of yourself and your life if you're doing the things in the now. If it helps you, write down your vision on a paper, I don't know, draw it, hang it in front of your bed so every morning when you wake up you see that future vision of you, so maybe that will motivate you. Tip number 18 is to write 10 to 20 things that you want to do or try in your life. Pick 5 of them and do it. Do it as soon as possible. Don't delay, because with delaying, you're also delaying you and your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. Maybe after trying these things, you'll figure out that some of the things you really like and some of them you really don't. But it's very important to try and do things that you want to try and do, because that's what allows you to figure out yourself and become the better version of you. So this was the tip that I promised to share with you in the beginning. If you stick around to the end. Alrighty, that was it from me today. If you implement these tips, you will for sure become unrecognizable from inside and out. You will become the best version of you. But remember that being the best version of you requires constant development, because you can never be ready. You need to constantly outperform the previous you. If you found this video valuable, give it a like, and if you want to see more content from me like this, please consider subscribing to my channel so we won't miss each other. And if you're wondering what to watch next, here's a video that you might find interesting. It's quite a similar video to this, but in a way it's very different because it's more about how to become confident, respectful woman with purpose. I thank you for watching this video and I see you in the next one. Bye bye.